Hello, Otafest podcast listeners. This is the last episode before Otafest. Oh my god.
I can't believe it's happening, even though we've been literally counting down for the last 3 months.
It is 2 days. Cosplayers, have you begun making your cosplay yet?
Have you
I
made a
think you
decision
need a
yet?
pot of coffee. If you haven't done it, if you're not done yet, put on coffee right now.
Or buy yourself a really big case of energy drinks.
Get a 1 liter bubble tea with the most caffeinated milk tea available.
I can do that.
Buy your fabric.
Yeah, that too.
No.
'Cause
You
if
have
you're
to
not-
wait for
It's all gonna be cardboard.
Canada Day for that to get the proper deal, and then you use the time machine to go back to Otafest.
Oh boy.
We covered this before. We covered the mechanics of time travel before, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did.
Good
I
luck.
think we
But
did.
the mechanics of
there.
time travel have nothing on news and announcements. Saturday passes and weekend passes are now sold out. Please check otafest.com for any remaining availability and a brief reminder to be careful of anybody selling their passes online, as these are likely scammers.
Dirty.
Yes.
How dare they?
But we have a sponsor read for you today. Plamod is the only official Canadian distributor of Bandai model kits and modeling tools such as GSI paints and God Hands. They've been importing and distributing model kits since 2005. Many local hobby stores order Gundam, Pokemon, and many other plastic model kits from all across Canada, and have a diverse amount of products of tools and models that are distributed, and revolving new products coming in regularly.
Thanks, Plamod, for sponsoring Otafest.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Plamod.
I don't know what God Hands are as a product, but there is a game called God Hand. I have a friend.
I know the ending song.
I have a friend who speed runs God Hand.
My
There's
God.
Any kid who grew up with Hong Kong kung fu movies would also know that there's like a series of Hong Kong
yes.
kung fu films called God Hand, or around the theme of God Hand.
Yeah, it's basically almost like I not the movie, but the game is sort of almost like JoJo-esque aura fighting.
Oh, nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's not a
Amazing.
fighting game. It's an action RPG, but it's I think it's like for original PlayStation or PlayStation 2 maybe.
I think it was PlayStation
Yeah.
2.
Damn.
I don't think it's old enough to be original
That
PlayStation.
is a classic then.
I think it had 3 extra polygons the PlayStation
Ooh,
couldn't handle.
spicy.
Mm.
Yes.
All right, friends.
But legitimately, the ending theme to God Hand
Is
is a
it?
banger.
I don't remember what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of it. I'll look it up
Oh
later.
no.
But yes, my friends, it is the last podcast before
Last
Otafest
podcast
of the
to
2023.
go along with the Last Supper that we had last night that I missed.
To be clear, it is not the last podcast episode of the season.
No, we still have the rest of the season to go.
Yes, we
this
still
is just
have
the last
a few
episode
episodes.
before Otafest hits.
Exactly.
I mean, we're not going to be recording during Otafest, so we have to wait. We have to digest Otafest. We have to ruminate on it, and then tell you what kind of stuff we had
Yes.
fun with.
But before we do that, we have to figure out what we're looking forward to. I know what I'm looking forward to.
For me, the number one thing every year at Otafest for me is the friends.
Yep.
It
100%.
It might sound campy. It's like the real Otafest is the friends we made
No,
along
the friends
the way.
were already
but no,
there.
legitimately. just about every friend that I currently have in Calgary, I met at Otafest or adjacent to Otafest.
I feel like a bad adult friend because I always have a hard time keeping up with my Otafest friends until Otafest hits, and then it's like, oh my god, why don't we do this more often? Ah! And then afterwards, when the Otafest hangover happens, we forget to keep in touch again.
Otafest is like a family reunion, but you get to do it every year.
It really feels that way.
And like
Yeah.
family reunions, there are some family members that you like to see, but you don't want to see them all the time.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Oh no. Toxic.
I'm kidding,
toxic.
because what I really mean is I would much rather see my Oda fam more than some of my real fam. Also toxic.
Oh. Oh.
I mean,
That's better.
our family reunions tend to happen in Ohio.
Oh.
So I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. Not every year.
But yeah, friends are always a good reason. I always feel bad in the same way that Otafest is not a hangout time for me. Like, I try to hang out, and I know that people are
You're busy.
understanding, but
Mhm.
it is perennially a bad time to make lots of plans. But I
Oh,
still
yeah.
want to see people. Like, I do my best to make time for people.
For people in Jay's position that have a lot of day of tasks and responsibilities, sometimes the best we can do is just like bump into each other and
Yes.
hug on the way to whatever you're doing
Yes.
Yeah.
next, and then I just, without even saying words, just push you
Yeah.
down.
But
the hall.
I think
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
I do believe as well, though, that people are, all sorts of people are busy at Otafest. So, you might be going to a panel, or you might be, figuring out the next thing you want to do. And
Might be running a panel.
exactly, there's so many things. Nancy, I know you're running panels, right?
I am running panels. It's gonna be another good time. And like, what's interesting for me, ever since I became like a formal teacher for voice acting, it's actually been really interesting approaching the panels from like I would love to have you as a student, or I would love to have you as a peer, or I would like it's such a different lens of looking at people who want to come talk to you about voice acting now. So that's gonna be super cool this coming week. Oh my god, I'm gonna meet so many cool people. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I am just hoping everything goes off without a hitch on my end. Come see the
I'm
concert.
sure it'll be fine.
Nice.
You got this.
I'm excited for the concert.
Dave
I really
Rogers
am.
Oh,
is
I
gonna be
know.
balling. I'm
Friday night's gonna be a ball.
yes.
And then Saturday is gonna be an actual ball.
Exactly. And then I'm going to the May Cafe this year. I haven't
Yay!
actually been to the May Cafe in many years. I've always had a chance to like spectate, but I haven't really. I'm setting some time aside for myself to actually like go and sit down and do a thing, and support them
Nice.
and support charity, and it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to the arcade. The arcade, if you haven't followed, has made real strides into arcade feel, such as having arcade tickets for prizes just for playing games.
Oh my
So
God.
that'll be fun.
Oh my god. Yeah. Who is going to find the most exploitable arcade game? Who is going to just have
Can't
the
just
right
min-max.
flick of the wrist to get unlimited tickets in skee ball?
Yeah, skee ball was always my go-to for tickets
Yeah.
at like Chuck E. Cheese or whatever.
Skee ball's way up there. It's something that, generally speaking, you can replicate results with muscle memory. I have one. You know those like those coin accumulators that sort of like they'll distribute tickets based on how many coins fall down like tiers into like the tray or whatever like that. I've won a couple of those, but those aren't really like replicable. It's really just like a bit of chance.
Fair. That's really true. And I remember back when I was growing up, back when I was in high school, an arcade opened in our very small town, and half of the whole floor plan was dedicated towards like ticket machines.
Wow.
The rest of the floor plan was all like just your classic arcade games. And I want to say classic, they were new at the time. But every now and then I would play one of the ticket games, not because I really cared about the tickets at all, but more just like whack-a-mole. Haha, I'm playing with big mallets. Brah. But my friend's dad, he would have an eye for what machines were on the verge of giving a jackpot. He'd walk over there, put in a couple tokens,
And then he'd shake the hell out of the
play
machine.
the game perfectly.
Yeah.
And then he would just stand by the machine for the next half hour while it's spitting out tickets.
Oh.
He would have it, he was skilled in having it just perfectly pile up the tickets in a nice, neat little pile. And sometimes the jackpot would be so huge that it would fall over. I think that's how he got his kid, like, a GameCube or a Wii
What?
through the arcade system.
God. Jealous.
That was the only person I ever knew to get, like, the big prize.
Yeah, I've never gotten past, like, I don't know, 20 or 40 tickets or something like that, I feel like.
The kind of prizes where you go up to the counter and you get, like, candy.
Yeah, or like a really terrible set of plastic vampire teeth.
Yes, or like a fake I say fake yo-yo because they have no weight to them. So they're only good for like 1/2 bounce.
Oh, not even. Like they don't come back up.
No.
The ones that just don't even come back up.
But I will say that our prizes, from what I've seen or heard, are pretty cool. They're real, tangible, fun prizes, not the cheapest things that the leftover plastic factory could produce. So
We're not going to get the fake vampire teeth that if you try to actually use them, make your gums bleed and make you look like a real vampire.
Ew. Was that a thing?
Did you never try putting the teeth
Oh my god,
in?
no. They actually smelled gross. Like the plastic itself
they're
smelled
awful.
so bad.
They're so bad.
Ugh. Mm-mm. No, even as a child, I had a little more sense than that.
Child
Little
me
bit.
had very little sense.
Child Angelo and Child Nancy would have had a grand time together. God.
Oh. But that actually sounds super good. That sounds wonderful.
I'm excited. I don't know what the
25th
full list of
anniversary.
prizes are, but some of them sounded really good.
yeah, everyone is upping their game across the board in terms of how much we're trying to offer, in terms of our experiences, improving what we already do, which is a given on any year really, but we're trying to push the envelope as best as we can this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still so enthused. So enthused for the concert on Friday. That is going to be crazy. I've already got the party glasses from Beer Fest. I'm ready.
I have
I'm ready.
I have shoes specifically for dancing in because I know they're going to be cushy as heck.
Are they Crocs?
They are not. They're the shoes that you saw me wear last time we saw each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yes.
yes.
They are very cushy.
Okay, so as a person who refuses to ever purchase a pair of Crocs, I've heard that they're amazingly comfortable. I feel like they would not be good for like dancing.
No,
or
you got to put them
at
into
a
sport mode.
You have to put them into
You
sport.
got to do that thing where you put on the strap from the front, which I never really understood, onto the back, which is where it's supposed to be, maybe? I don't know. I have worn Crocs twice, maybe, in my life. And by worn, I mean, I was house sitting for a friend. They have Crocs to go outside to, like, I don't know.
Oh.
So I
Yes.
I just slipped on the Crocs
Those are the
to go
outdoor
outside.
slippers.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the outdoor slippers.
You know what? I think what you should do is put your Crocs into sport mode and get your butt over to our next sponsor, Goro and Gun.
Goro and Gun is a proud sponsor of Otafest 2023. We are open all Otafest weekend to serve our chef-driven Japanese cuisine. Located in the plus 15 level of Scotia Centre, they're only a 5-minute walk away from the festivities, right in the heart of downtown Calgary. Goro and Gun are open Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and have an awesome happy hour. So join us from 2 to 5 every weekday for $10 appies, rolls, and ramen, plus drink specials with sake, wine, and Sapporo.
Oh my god, the whole city?
Let's go.
They have specials for the entire city of Sapporo.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It took me a
God.
second to be like, what?
For me, I was thinking like, Jay, they don't care what city you're coming from. Goro and Gun will.
Yeah.
You can be coming from Denver, Colorado, and Goro and Gun will give you the deal. What are you? No, I
get it now.
I understand the joke.
I get it now.
Funny joke.
Wow.
I know.
Funny joke.
Yeah. I hope to visit Sapporo. I really do. The time
Because you're going to Hokkaido.
Yeah, the time well the time
later on
frame
this
in
year,
which
right?
I'm going as well is late fall / early winter, essentially. And culturally speaking, Hokkaido should be kind of in the swing of things in terms of food culture, sort of
The
early
scenery.
early winter events type thing. So I'm really hoping that I get some time there. But we'll see.
Fall
We'll
there is
see.
supposed to
Nice.
be just gorgeous.
I mean, it's I like to travel in off season, in non-summer springtime.
Same. I don't like to travel in summer because it's just too hot everywhere in summer.
It's true.
No, that's why you go to like Iceland for summer.
Their summer is very
Or
short
Norway for
and very
summer.
mild, I think.
I've heard good things about Iceland.
And that's
but
why
I don't know.
Yeah.
in our summer, just go to Australia.
Oh, where it's winter.
Mhm.
Yes.
Where it's still like blazing
And then once
hot.
winter rolls around, that's when you go to all the warm places like Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just don't want to deal with the heat, do what I do and just stay inside playing video games.
Also works, yes.
Playing video games. I heard there was a new Zoraldo this weekend.
Excuse
I
me,
heard there were many tiers to be had.
the main character is Link, not Zelda. God, I thought what
I
are you, a
like
fake
when
fan?
Zoraldo saved the princess from Cannon Dwarf. I don't know why they call him that. He doesn't have any cannons. And he's really tall, too.
He's quite tall. I have been trying to play, basically spending all waking moments playing Tears of the Kingdom when I'm not
Wow.
doing Otafest things.
Wow.
I
Nice.
managed to snag a collector's edition when I went in for a pre-purchase event, and they happened to have some extra collector's editions. So I was like, "You twist my rubber arm, I will purchase your product." I got home at 11 p.m. and then I played
Oh, my God.
till 7 a.m. So
Damn.
Oh, my God.
Sir.
it's been good.
I have not had a gaming session like that in
been
so
good.
long.
Yes, in a really long time.
I will say, of course, I won't be spoiling anything, but I will give you like my experience on it, and it's been stellar. If you like Breath of the Wild, it genuinely builds on Breath of the Wild as the platform for how fun it is, and like gives you
That
a new
is what
feel,
I've heard. That it's basically Breath of the Wild 2.
it is a direct sequel, like literally, but I don't know how to describe it. Like, the closest I could really think of is if you played Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow Gen 1, and then you played Gen 2, where they had like, because in a literal sense they have sort of the same base map, which was like, and then they added a second map. That's one of the big things they did. And then they added quality of life, and then they added the nuances of this game versus, the old game, and the mechanics that make this game what it is versus the old games. It's been
That's
like,
fair.
it genuinely feels different but similar, also in the same way that I would describe it as like, because some time has passed since the events of the first game, but again, like, there is a base level map that they've how should I say, like refreshed, I guess. So in a sense, it's almost like if you've ever, if you are traveling back to a place you've been to before in real life, after not having been there for maybe a couple years, that's what it sort of feels like, where you're like, you're familiar, but there's some new things, and
That
what it
reminds
feels
me of
like.
the last time I went to Windsor,
Oh.
to the Windsor, Ontario server, and suddenly they had a buff on skunks, and so there were a lot more skunks in the Windsor, Ontario server. It was a lot different from the previous time I'd been there.
What? But why?
I don't know.
There's
There were just a lot more skunks.
on a quick
Weird.
aside, there's we've talked about this, I think, just a few months ago. There are raccoons in Calgary now.
Wait, there
Wait.
are?
In
We have
some,
trash
in
We
pandas?
didn't
some,
used to?
no, in some parts of the city, I think it's like definitely more on the outskirts, like. But there are reports. I have seen reports of raccoons, which is not something that we've normally had. But no one really knows if they can survive that well here. But
Where the heck did they
They'll
come
probably
they don't have
do
a
fine.
huge. They don't. It's not a huge number, I think. But I wonder if we'll actually see more of them, especially like in the downtown area where people sort of associate urban raccoons. But anyway, there are no raccoons in Tears of the Kingdom that I've seen so far. But I wouldn't mind seeing
Well,
them.
that's
What?
hmm.
Why would Nintendo do this to us? How could they make a video game without raccoons? 0 out of 10, not enough.
Now I'm literally
I can't
thinking,
believe-
what games do I know with raccoons? And there's only one that I can think of, which is like Sly something or other. Is it
Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't
Genshin has the Tanuki as
yeah,
well.
it's a
which are
tanuki,
not
not like a
technically
North American
raccoons,
raccoon.
but close
There's a
enough.
tanuki. There's also what was it called? Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing has raccoons in it.
Fair.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tom Nook.
Yes, Mr. Tom Nook, the guy who you spend your entire like playthrough paying
Indebted
back
to.
all the time.
Yes. So you weren't the kind of person who lined up hours before GameStop opened to collect your copy of Tears of the Kingdom. You just went in later on. In the day.
No. There was, so GameStop specifically they do midnight release events, but midnight release events are interesting because a lot of them are based on US, or not US, what am I saying? Eastern Standard Time. So when it releases at midnight on Eastern Standard, we can get it at 10 p.m. here. So I headed over. I was in line. I was the third person in line at around 8:30. So I waited about
Ooh, wow.
an hour and a half. But I knew I was going to do that anyways because, like, I've spent enough time, like, avoiding spoilers type stuff. I just wanted to play the game. Like, I knew I had the day off. I brought my camping chair.
Nice.
Because I was like, why am I
nice.
standing in line? That's silly. I will sit in line.
Standing.
What kind
like
of
a
a camping chair
plebeian?
is it? I want to know.
I must.
It's a
I must
standard-
bring a folding throne.
Standard red Canadian Tire folding chair with cup holder
Nice.
and
Ooh.
folding and
Nice.
unfolding action
Ooh.
and kung fu grip.
Ooh.
Very luxurious.
No, like, yeah, very, very run of the mill chair that I take to outdoor events and things like that. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know. Why would I bother standing for 90 minutes? And I know that in the past, like, a lot of these types of events will typically have like extra product. So I was hoping to get a collector's edition without knowing I was going to get a collector's edition. It doesn't really matter in the end to me. Like, but I was like, I'd seen the collectors for a while. I'd been like looking to see if it was available for pre-purchase every now and then online. So I was like, you know what? Why not? If it shows up, I'll grab it. It's pretty sweet. It has a nice steel book. It has a nice poster, a set of pins, and a really nice art book. And like Zelda art books are sort of legendary and how nice they are. I'd say they're probably on par with like Final Fantasy level art books and stuff like that. So good times. and the game. I
That's
haven't spent
awesome.
any time
That's
looking at
wonderful.
what's in there. Like I haven't spent any time looking at the book yet because I'm just playing the game. And I've spent
So you legitimately played the game for
Like
I've
8
spent
hours.
no, so I'm probably about like 16 hours in at this time, which is not a
Damn.
lot actually. I've been doing a lot of Otafest stuff, and I've even chosen to hang out with friends instead of just play Tears of the Kingdom.
I mean, the Switch is a portable console. You could have brought it with you.
Not that kind of person, but like I. I've spent like, you know, about 15 to 20 hours total so far, and like I can tell you that I feel like I've only scratched like maybe 10% of the game. 10%
Oh my
might
God.
be gratuitous. I feel like I haven't done anything, but I've had a lot of fun doing whatever it is that I've been doing so far.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
The last time that I had a gaming experience like that, though, where I buy a game and then lose an entire day's worth of time playing it, was back when Deus Ex, the one that came out in like 2010. I can't remember if that was Mankind Divided or Human Revolution, but the first of the new ones came out. And I was like, okay, it's a day off for me. I'm going to play the game. And then I started playing, and suddenly it was dinner time.
But I just got started. What do you mean I'm hungry?
Yeah. I'm totally there with you. I wish I could remember like the list of games that just sort of ate entire days away for me. Skyrim was probably one of them, honestly.
Oh,
Skyrim was
absolutely.
probably an easy one. There's not too many. There's a lot that where you're like, I'm good with the amount I've played or whatever, but like
Part of it is the kind of games that I've been playing. A lot of what I tend to play on my PC are going to be either gotcha games that, like, they time gate you. It is the way they're designed. But also a lot of like multiplayer games like Overwatch or Apex or things like that that have natural stopping points built
True.
in. Like if you play Overwatch, you might play for like 3 hours. You're playing a lot of games, but at the end of every game, you have a natural stopping point where you can just be like, you know what? Time to step back for a moment, have some food, have some dinner, and then I can come back to it later on this evening.
I actually remember the last game I lost a lot of like time tracking in. It's Kerbal Space Program. And when I got Kerbal Space Program 2 as well, because iterative building and testing just like it takes time, but you're like consumed in it. It's
Welcome to my
progression.
job.
It's minute progression. Maybe sometimes it's like, did I just need to tweak this, or do I need to redesign like the thruster modules, or like the layout of the ship itself, or like the payload, and then you tweak and tweak and tweak, and then all of a sudden it is tomorrow.
Oh no.
Yes. Because even though you think it's like, okay, I launched the rocket, I have a natural stopping point here. No, because either you succeeded in your mission and you want to play the mission, or you didn't succeed in your mission, and so you need to go back to the drawing board. And you want to go back to the drawing board now because it's fresh in your mind what failure you had and how to fix it. There's no natural stopping point in Kerbal Space Program.
Apparently not.
But this is a natural pausing time for our next sponsor, which is Umomo. If you miss Japan or want to go but haven't had a chance yet, come to the Calgary Umomo store to get a feel of Japan. Umomo is a nationwide Japanese lifestyle store carrying over 25,000 different products at affordable prices. You can find Japanese snacks, stationery, beauty and cosmetics, ceramics, cookware, electronics, and toys, which are all imported from Japan. We are happy to have a booth in Otafest this year, and will offer a free Umomo tote bag when you spend $15 plus at the booth. Please stop by to check out Umomo's unique and fun products. Umomo's store is located in Pacific Place Mall in Calgary. We hope to see you there.
I love Omomo.
I do too.
And I've been finding myself going there a lot more frequently lately.
I have to go anytime I'm in that vicinity because I'm always like, oh, but snacks.
Yeah.
The snacks, honestly, the cookware they have is really, really, really cute.
Oh, yeah. I have like teacups from them and they're so cute.
One of our guests this year, Miss Girl DM, when she moved to Calgary last year, we have done several Umomo trips with her to help her set up her house. Her house, all of her organizational systems, like 90% of it has now come from
In my day,
Umomo.
you just went to IKEA and you liked it. The Swedish people were there for you.
Now, the special thing, the reason why Umomo calls out specifically to Girl DM is that she also spent several years living in Japan. So a lot of the products that they have just
Feel like home.
vibe with the lifestyle she likes.
Feels like home for her.
Yeah, like, it's a really good
I
store.
can't wait to hang out
If
with
you
Girl
haven't
DM.
been,
Oh my gosh.
Just check it out. She's wonderful.
Aw. So excited.
She's absolutely wonderful.
What's it like hanging out with a JPEG?
It's not a JPEG, it's a PNG. Get your compression algorithms
What's
right.
man?
I'll
In my
have
day,
you know
I had
that JPEGs
BMPs from the Microsoft Paint.
JPEGs do not support any type of transparency, whereas PNGs offer all sorts
How
of
dare
alpha
you?
transparency.
That's my peg you're talking about, and I try to support all forms of images.
Except for JPEG 2000. JPEG 2000 can be removed.
We don't talk about JPEG 2000.
This is a high quality GIF household. I'll have you know.
GIF.
Whoa.
GIF.
She GIF. She GIF.
GIFs.
I think I GIF.
I can't believe you would start this war
Nah.
in the middle of a
Oh
podcast.
no.
think
I
I
didn't
GIF.
mean it.
Horrible, horrible GIF peasant. It's pronounced GIF. The way the creator of the graphics interchange format decided.
I pray
and
to
then-
Jod
and then-
for your soul.
Oh no. Oh no. This isn't happening.
It's
Oh no.
happening.
I regret what I
It's
said.
happening.
It was just a
I
throwback to high
legitimately
quality GIFs.
cannot believe. I legitimately cannot believe if I actually pronounce it GIF
I think
or
it just
GIF,
depends on the day.
because I just always take I always take the contrary position of whatever anyone
No,
says.
I legitimately think it depends on the day. I think I say GIF more often because I think it sounds nicer.
Fair.
I
know the soft G is easier to say than the hard G.
Yeah,
It rolls off the tongue better.
I don't know. I don't have enough brain cells for this. I just need.
I don't have an invested side in this.
Yeah.
It's just, dear internet, how does Nancy pronounce this 3-letter acronym? Answer, it depends on the mood.
I can't believe that as a voice actor, you don't know how to pronounce GIF.
It's definitely GIF more often than it is GIF, but I have used both.
I wonder how often it comes up in like a voice acting role. If GIF shows up in the script and you use the wrong one, would the director go apeshit?
Yeah, it's kind of the director's thing. The director's responsible for making sure you're pronouncing everything properly, and some of that has to do with a mix of what the director thinks is right and what the client wants. I've been called back to the studio to fix the pronunciation of a line that I was given wrong the first time, so I had to go back for pickups to do it again. And yeah, that was definitely a moment where I was like, I don't think that word's pronounced like that. But okay, you're the director.
I think that would be really.
The
annoying.
reality is, The decision is up to the writer of the checks.
I guess, but it's like, I don't know. Like, if you're presuming you're not doing like, let's say you're doing a read for, like, it's not a character, in a sense, but it's more of like a neutral read, like some sort of ad or book or something where, you know, you're just reading normally, in a sense, and there's no affectation. So I would believe that most pronunciations are regional in nature.
There's very regional pronunciations.
Like there's tomato.
Like imagine a director.
Or
imagine a director from across the country being like, "Why did you call it Calgary? Isn't it Calgary?" And then the exact opposite version would be like, "What? Why did you call the city of Toronto Toronto? How could you? How
pronounce
dare
the
you?
second T.
Can't you even
Pronounce the
read?
second T in
Let's pronounce
Toronto
the second
challenge.
T. Toronto.
Impossible.
Toronto.
Toronto.
It's Toronto.
Toronto. It's Toronto.
Yeah. So again, it always goes back to whatever the client wants. It's, do you want it to sound natural or do you want it to sound like we're a foreign company trying to say these names? Sometimes we give them the choice, sometimes we take the choice away from them and we just sort of give them a pat, we know best. Sometimes they're very opinionated and we do what they want us to do at the end of the day.
I guess another argument I would have, I mean, I'm not saying that job isn't necessary, and you would, like, if you want to place those expectations in, I think that would be pretty good. Like there is obviously value in there, but I would also say there's probably value in, like, someone saying what the pronunciation is in their native area, like, because it would probably sound like it flows better out of them.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. And especially when it comes to, like, if you're reading for fiction, there is going to be words that are literally made up.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff's got to be the worst.
Yeah, like there's pronunciation guides that have to be created so that all the actors say the same thing properly and you don't get like one person who says it wrong, but they say it wrong for the entirety of their recording because they're not with the other actors when they're doing their recording. And then that person is going to unfortunately have to go back and redo anything where they've mispronounced it. And if it's a word that comes up often, you're basically redoing all of your recordings because otherwise it's going to sound too choppy. It's going to sound like you can tell where the two separate recording sessions were.
Right.
I can't remember any specific instance, but I feel like this happened multiple times in the Genshin voiceover. I feel like I've noticed it in the Genshin voiceover, but I can't remember.
Tell me more.
I think it happens, just as a quick, like, fictional reference, Pokemon's got to be really bad for it.
Oh.
I must assume if you're not a series regular and you're just brought on and there is some obscure Pokemon that's not like Pikachu or Charizard or something like that, that's gotta be tough.
Probably. But yeah.
Consistency is
definitely key. Consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Unless they purposefully create regionalities, like you say. Like, people in this city actually call it this, but, you know, it's just something they do in that city.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ah. Speaking of voices, V Shoujo has a new VTuber, and she sounds like a kettle.
She sounds like a kettle.
I'm not going to elaborate on that part exactly.
No, you can't. What does that mean?
So
it's the thing
Shoujo.
You introduce them as, and then you're like, I'm not telling you anything else about why I described them like
yourself.
You know.
They whistle?
V Shoujo has been having a lot of ups and downs lately. They've been having a lot of ups and downs lately. And in the past month, they've lost 3 different talents. They've lost Silvervale, Vebe, and Nyanners.
Oh.
And a lot of people were like, oh my god, what is going on over there? The short answer is just contract negotiations. Further speculation on that isn't really productive. But it was really weird. And now suddenly there's a new talent that arrived. They started teasing the new talent, I think 2 weeks ago. And her debut was finally last night.
Oh.
after by last night, Saturday evening. And so Henya the Genius is their new JP and EN.
I thought you were going to say
They're
JPEG.
bilingual.
When you said JP, I was just like,
JPEG
I
tuber.
thought we just did this bit.
They're bilingual, but their Japanese is their mother tongue, if you will. They're very cute. I absolutely love their model. The rigging on their model is so on point, and it's done. The rigging of the model is done by Iron Vertex, a very popular model making company. But I was noticing certain things on the model that I want to incorporate into my own rigging.
Ooh.
Like this is something that I've known for a while, that the way that you look with your eyes does change your eye shape. It's not just about like where your pupils and your irises go. It's about the overall shape of your eye. The way that they did that was so on point that it felt very, I want to say realistic, even though it's an anime character. So realistic, given the context that it's an anime character. But it was just very expressive and really good. On top of that, they have a Rubik's Cube around their neck that glows like the goddamn demon core.
Oh, are they
nice.
like that just makes me think of Yu-Gi-Oh! And how he has the pyramid around his neck.
Yes. You are not the only person to make that distinction. I have seen multiple people at this point being like, I love this Yu-Gi-Oh! Ass looking JPEG. Oh my god, they're making me so happy. But it was really nice. It was really fun, and I'm glad that V Shoujo is getting more life breathed into it. I was a little bit worried there for a moment.
Such hot tea. Tea that I wish I actually
Very hot tea.
kept up with more.
Hot tea from a kettle.
Hot tea.
If you know, you know.
I don't know.
Now I'm gonna have to go and look this up.
All I'm going to allude is that it's kind of like a faux pas in the VTuber community to assign the VTuber with their previous identities. Like, if I were to say that, yes, Maury Calliope, good old Maury Calliope, everybody knows that they were previously a somewhat well-established musician. But if you said that the musician was going to a different Alberta convention, that's a little bit of a faux pas.
I see.
And so to say that Henya sounds like a kettle, if you know VTubers, you
All right.
know.
I will sit
if
in
you
the
say
dark.
so. If you say so.
Sit in the dark and read your sponsors.
I suppose I could do that, but just for you. I can't do it like a kettle, though. I don't know what that means. But I do know that Calgary Downtown Association is ensuring that the heart of our city is a vibrant and inclusive place for everyone who lives, learns, works, shops, and dines in downtown and cosplays in downtown. Follow us at Downtown Calgary on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks, Downtown Calgary. You guys do really good work.
Thank you, Downtown Calgary.
Thank you for letting us raid the place with lots of cosplayers.
Yeah. And we'll also have food trucks this year on Stephen Avenue. They do a lot of
Woohoo.
us, like, a lot of people won't really know what the Calgary Downtown Association does, but they manage a lot of the public properties and in the downtown core. One of them being Stephen Ave. So obviously we're making use of that. We have outdoor staging this year on Stephen Ave. So we'll have performances live out there. We have Taiko and Yosaka, which is the traditional Japanese dancing out there. I believe.
Are we going to
Idol-
have those on Stephen
Yes.
Avenue, or are they going to be on the
Nope,
roof
it's
of
going to be on
Marriott
this.
again?
I'm telling you, it's outdoor staging
That's awesome.
on Stephen Ave
Damn.
with Idol Festival is going to be out there too, I believe. It's all on the schedule, so check out the schedule as well.
Wow.
And again, food truck, I believe, is out there. We have 3
Food trucks.
food trucks.
That's wonderful.
So That'll be
That
really
will
good.
certainly expand my choices for food.
Yes. And poor A&W hopefully won't get as ultra slammed.
Yeah.
I just remember every Otafest, every time Otafest runs around, there's A&W that frequently just runs out of food. There's Rosso right there. Down the street, there's McDonald's, and even that, like, even though it's like a 3 or 4 block walk away, it gets ridiculously busy. All of Stephen Avenue is
Full
just
of cosplays.
awash with cosplayers.
Yes.
I love it. I love to see it. It's just so.
I will
heartwarming.
say, so the food trucks are exclusive to us. So when you go to a food truck, you got to show your badge or your wristband. They are yes,
Really?
they are like part of our event specifically. It will be weird for general
enough.
pedestrians to go there and be like, "Oh, I can't order the food." But it is
That would
the arrangement.
kind of suck if like you didn't know and you went and stood in line and then you got to the front and you were like, "What do you
There
mean
will
I
be
can't
signage.
order?"
And there will
Hopefully,
be
yeah.
instructions, but still.
I hope people aren't so like inattentive that they don't see the signs. That would be really, really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, having more options just right at the convention is 100% a good thing. That is wonderful.
We have lots of food
I'm
options.
excited. I want to see the food trucks.
It's actually pretty nuts because I believe we still have a ramen bar. We still have like the we have konbini, which is snacks and drinks. We have the food trucks. And we have the in vendors hall, the concessions area. So there's lots of different little food options alongside everything else that you can just find in downtown. So
exactly. Like, I love Stephen Avenue. There's a lot of great places to sit down and have a fantastic meal. But in the middle of the con, you want something fast and now.
and then afterwards,
Yeah,
when you're
especially
ready
when
to
blood
chill,
sugar hits.
yes. But afterwards, when you're ready to chill, of course, you can go to our other sponsor, Goro and Gun, hang out there. They're not far away from the con at all. Like, they're about the same distance as McDonald's is. I think they're technically in the same building as McDonald's is, now that I think about it. So,
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
They are.
if you...
I just love everything that Garo and Gun has. Just has amazing flavor.
Mhm.
Exceptionally flavorful. Absolutely wonderful. Goro and Gun just has stuff that you can't really get anywhere else around Otafest.
And they help us.
Now I want to go and get some ramen.
I was thinking the same thing, actually.
Time for a ramen date before Otafest.
You twist my
Let's do
rubber
it.
arm. I've been on a mushroom kick recently, and I just want like mushroom pasta or like mushrooms in my food in general. And like they have, if I remember correctly, they have a mushroom ramen.
Ooh.
Yum.
We will see you at Otafest.
See you all
Dear
there.
listeners.
If you see us, come up and say hi.
And
Bye-bye.
yeah, come say hi. But for now, goodbye.
Bye-bye.